Take a seat, enjoy the video. Thank you.
Department of Agriculture Commissioner Salazar said changing weather patterns would affect livestock behavior. Encourage ranchers and breeders to attend this weekend's...
I should stop for gas. Also, my rear view mirror is kind of bullshit. What's that? Meet Miles. He's a journalist whose colossal itch for digging up dirt on large, shady corporations is about to get him ripped a new asshole.
Seems the Arrow Battle Park services will be spraying for an infestation of box elder bugs.
Box elder bugs. And here we are then, at long freaking last. I bid you hello. Welcome to my 100% most comprehensively detailed Outlast walkthrough out there. That was quite a mouthful, I realized that. Now, hold on. Now, check this shit out. Someone on the Markov Corporation's payroll, that's the company that owns this place, hit us up with a bunch of bad news. Well, it turns out this asylum isn't all it seems. How about that? Lots of shady business takes place within its walls, unethical experiments, research on human subjects, forcefully putting dildos in people's rear ends, etc. And that's where I step in, I suppose, being a journalist and all that. Oh, and one more thing. See the email address on the printed copy? That's my email. I mean, the characters. Rumor has it that it's a real thing. Some people even claim they wrote and heard back from, whoever is behind this email address. So, being an inquisitive little fuck, I'm gonna shoot my shot and see what happens. Okay, nice gear. Excellent for shooting home videos if you catch my drift. Also, don't bother looking up the camcorder's brand. I've already been there, it's made up, so what do you know? And there's our fancy credentials showing off our name, Miles Upshur. If you think of it, his name makes perfect sense. It rhymes quite nicely with miles up the shore without a paddle. It basically means someone who is neck deep in shit. Alright, let's climb out of our ride and check out the site. Welcome to Mount Massive Asylum, conveniently planted at the foot of Mount Massive, Colorado. Creative, right? This place will have you shitting bricks before you even hit the front door. Done deal. Now, it's based on the real-life Richardson Olmsted complex, once a mental hospital, now a museum. Because nothing says fun family outing like touring an old asylum. And please don't even bother trying to beat the gates. It's pointless. There's an invisible wall blocking any chance of escape. Just like that, yep, barely 5 minutes in, and they already don't want the guest of honor going anywhere. So I'm just wondering, if I stare into the darkness long enough, maybe I'll catch Sasquatch on camera. Just imagine the headlines. Wannabe journalist bags Bigfoot at haunted asylum. Man, say what you will about this place, but the scenery out here slaps harder than a 12-pack of beer on an empty gut. Now, let's take a quick moment and check out my noble steed for the evening. I'm no expert, but it looks like a 1997 Jeep Wrangler TJ. So clearly, this guy's not hurting for cash. Well, I have a good reason to believe this guy has a sugar mama with a soft spot for conspiracy nuts, if you know what I'm saying. Because honestly, I doubt this whole independent journalist gig is paying big bucks. Now get a load of this. Note Miles' left arm, the one holding the camcorder. It's freaking out. I mean, it's not that bad, just a tad janky, I know I would be glitching a lot worse if I was there right now. Okay, that's enough dilly-dally. Let's head inside the security booth and talk to the guy. Say hi to whatever perv is watching us right now. Hi. Someone is slacking off big time tonight. I wonder if he's out to take a piss in the trees somewhere. Whatever. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I never quite figured out these doodles or what they are supposed to represent. I even tried looking them up on the internet, hoping there would be a hint or maybe an explanation, but no such luck. I'm calling it now. This one represents Mount Massive. See the big gray rock or whatever? It's probably a mountain, right? It's a safe bet. Now, if you pan over here, you'll see a pretty neat setup. The guy's got two computers. That's computers in retard language. Oh, and see the name Morin on both the yellow marker and pencil? That's a dev reference. Quite ingenious, really, hiding this stuff in plain sight like that, you know? Alright, time's wasting and nobody's showing up to buzz me through. I'm calling it now. The security guy got lost in the woods. Lost, confused, probably snatched up by a lovesick Sasquatch. So, guess I'll just clear myself in. Yep, see what I just did there? Pointing your camcorder at certain events or locations throughout the game may or may not yield a fresh entry in your lovely little journal. So yeah, I'll be keeping that in mind, and for now, let's just see what it's all about, aye? So it's just like I figured, this place is beyond messed up, and it's not new messed up either. We're talking decades of messed up. So back in the 70s, this joint was being run by the CIA, you know, the CIA trying to tinker with the human mind to see if anything lovely might come out of that, and spoiler alert, it didn't. Now, fast forward to more recent years, this place has been snapped up by the Murkoff Corporation, you know, one of those giant, colossal, transnational giants famous for doing weird shit that tends to get a lot of people killed. And of course, they claim this whole setup is charity. Yeah, sure it is. Well, you know what, let's just keep rolling, you know, putting one foot in front of the other, rinse and repeat, you know the drill. Oh, I see someone. I definitely see someone up there before they turned the lights out in one of the windows. Not sure what that was all about, but it sure looked creepy, something fierce. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to notice the air around this place is sort of screaming, you know, something is not right. I have yet to see anyone. Well, except for that person in the window, whoever that was. I wonder if it was a girl. Maybe I'll meet the love of my life, you know, the one here tonight in an old asylum operated by a transnational evil corporation. You know, that's always a good thing. And just like I suspected, this way's no good. All chained up and stuff. You would think they don't want nosy journalists like myself snooping around with a camcorder. Go figure. Okay, fellas, time to pull something crazy out of my ass. And see that hedge lining the brick fence across the courtyard? Well, don't take it from me. I've never done this before. For all I know, it could be complete baloney. However, assuming it's not false info, we might be able to vault over that fence. Or at least I try and take your pick. And supposedly it's as simple as backing up a short distance, getting a good run up, then vaulting off the curb and landing on this very specific spot in the hedge. Oh, well, would you look at that? How about that? I honestly had no idea whether or not it would work. It would work. I figured this would be a fail. Let's see what happens if we jump over. Oh. Am I dead yet? What's going on? Like I said, I've never done this before. What the hell is going on here? Well, if you recognize this location, good for you. Man, this is awesome. Just straight up awesome. Alright, let's just fall back for a minute and maybe rethink our route. We need to get inside, right? It's that simple. It's not rocket science. But of course, the front door. Use the front door. So let's just mosey on down to the front door and see what happens. Okay, well, now it's all starting to make perfect sense. Do you see these armored vehicles out here? Now, do you hear the noise coming from them too? It's like static or something. Now, do you remember when the radio in my car just suddenly cut out pulling up to the gates? Well, my money is on these vehicles jamming the signal. It would make perfect sense. I'm calling it now. These look like an emergency response team or something. I highly doubt they would show up if things were otherwise nice and rosy. Locked. Should have known it wouldn't be as easy as just waltzing through the front door, right? These cunts are locked up tight tonight, like real tight. Okay, well, let's look around. There might be another way in. No lights, no nothing. But of course, this just hit me. I haven't seen a single vehicle yet. And I mean a civilian one, not those emergency vans out front. So you would think a facility this large would employ hundreds of folks. How do they even get to work? Don't tell me they have to hike up the mountain just to be a miserable wagey. Someone needs to have this light looked at. It's all shut to hell. Oh, and there it is. It looks like my way in. Let's see if I can squeeze my ass through this gap. Just like that. We are past one door now. Oh, girl, I'm telling you right now, something is off about this place. Oh, god fucking damn it. These fucking people and their fucking itch for keeping their fucking doors locked. I'm sorry. What? You think someone's gonna try to break in and, steal your shit or something? Well, you're right. Well, some windows are lit up, means someone's home, right? And I think I just found my way in. Just a quick tip, you can climb like a dumbass, or you can jump, grab the ledge, and pull yourself up like a badass. So, your choice, pal. So, I'm just wondering to myself, journalist or not, how is this shit even legal? Technically, I'm trespassing right now. I'm literally working my way up the scaffold to slip in one of the windows, and this is like private property, right? It's owned by a private corporation, so... Well, you know what? Never mind the scary music, because, this game is supposed to be so scary. It should be used as a remedy for constipation, Alright, it looks like we're finally up, and the good news is we didn't even break our fucking neck climbing this thing. Ooh, what a bloody mess. You would swear someone had a really bad case of bloody diarrhea or something. All the furniture is knocked over, got someone's brain splattered on the wall over here. The usual everyday stuff. Now, let's find someone real quick and ask them what the fuck do they think they're even doing here? Now, note the clocks in this game. They work. But... you know what? I'm gonna show you something really cool about these clocks, but not now. For now, just know that we need to pay attention to these whenever they show up. Oh, look! An outlet! How cool is that? Let me plug in and, recharge my Nokia real quick. Honestly, I never even knew these existed in the game. I literally just found out by sheer accident. So much for being an expert. I don't know, I'm just debating. Should I go back to my car and just leave? while I can. Damn, now this is the huge one. Make it make sense, girl. Oh man, they got it all mixed up. This is the exact same view you would get looking out the front door. Those armored vehicles parked right down below. They must have copy-pasted the whole thing and just thinking we wouldn't notice. Huh? Cunts. Now, this is for all intents and purposes a training room, or they are showing us the basics, like how to navigate the dark using our camcorder. The thing is, the camcorder runs on batteries, and those, well, you've got to scavenge them, throughout the entire game. And you can only carry so many batteries at a time, and since I'm currently playing on hard difficulty, I am capped at 2. What? That's one ugly son of a bitch. That's all I gotta say about that. And here I thought I was a disgrace to mankind. Okay, well, these windows check out. I mean, it's not like I was expecting to look out and see Elon Musk staring back at me with a black eye. And there's another clock on the wall right there, tick-tocking its way to bliss, I guess. Now, according to this clock, it's been 5 minutes since we left the last room. That's bullshit. I'm calling it right now. Either time's broken, or someone is screwing with me. Anyone ever wonder what these books are supposed to reference? Skinner and Beyond. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, they are not real titles. Believe me, I did my research. But it feels like a little nod to the real-life psychologist, B.F. Skinner. Conditioning, rats in boxes, the whole deal. Because nothing says welcome to a mental hospital like a bookshelf full of psychology deep cuts, right? Classified. Project A what? A38? Yeah, something is not right. You feel that too? Like either someone threw a temper tantrum after a really bad day at work, or this window makes perfect sense. Okay, well. Now, this wagey office room, that's just another training ground, really. We are being taught how to scoop up batteries for our lovely camcorder. It doesn't get any cooler than this. Awesome. Now, let's take a closer look at this screen over here. Hellman, huh? Yep, that's another dev reference, too. Alright, I think we're done here. Let's clippity-clop out of here before someone shows up and, sticks that battery where the sun doesn't shine. Yep, someone's been throwing up blood all over the walls. Lovely. I would blame frozen microwave dinners. Those things can mess you up something fierce. Now, let's take a quick peek at this fire extinguisher right here. Stuff like this is usually packed with cool deep cuts. Looks like it was made in Canada. You know what else is made in Canada? Canadian lemonade. Yellow snow, best thing to go down the hatch on a hot Canadian summer day. And we got some fan up here. Lovely. Knock, knock. Any wages working overtime for peanuts? Figures. We got some more classified shit up here. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love classified shit. Someone's gonna walk in any second now and see some guy crawling around with a camcorder. Now, what is that thing on the desk? Looks like a record or a file. Definitely up for grabs. Okay, so we've got a patient file on one Billy Hope, age 19, full-time psycho, part-time science experiment. Markov has been running him through something called the Project Walrider, which, spoiler alert, is not a theme park, unless you're into blood, hallucinations, and body horror. Now, Billy has a mommy complex. severe delusions, and a habit of scribbling in his own bodily fluids. Now, the paperwork also mentions one Richard Traeger. Yep, if you know, you know. If you don't, well, that's your problem. Now, Markov describes Billy's progress as promising. Right. So is a house fire. Now, it's time I got you guys familiar with a little door glitch that we can utilize during our adventures here. It's quite simple, really. All you have to do is walk up to a closed door and open it. The trick is to jump back to let the door swing open, then jump right back into it. If done correctly, you have a chance to end up on top of the door. Now from there, it's no-clip time, basically. This trick lets you explore this place in far greater detail. It's something speedrunners like to utilize in order to beat the game quicker than you would normally think was possible. Now, I'm no speedrunner, but for the sake of this walkthrough, I'll be using this trick here and there. For now, let's just move on. Okay, now to get a hold of some office wagey and demand an interview for, and maybe some booze money in exchange for keeping it under wraps. You there? Open up? In time, my tongue will wiggle-waggle directly into your ass. I don't know why I had to say that. I'm sorry, it just came out. Alright, well, take it from me, but you can actually get to see this bathroom guy in person. So it's not just a door scripted to slam shut in your face. There is an actual person behind it. By utilizing the same door glitch trick, we can warp back into the courtyard, then double back to this area, and there he is. That's one ugly son of a bitch, I'll tell you that much. Now, his hideout is also accessible, but it's not exactly full of the good stuff, you know. Also, by this point, you will be completely locked out of the next room, which is kind of a bummer. So, it's a dead end. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. I'm just getting a little tense here, and honestly, this place makes me want to shit bricks. Is that beetroot juice? I hope not. Man, Count Dracula would love this place. All this blood. Lick till you explode. Oh, and one other thing, you can actually use the same area to skip an entire part of the game. So it's the same logic, the same thing, you know, swing the door open, warp your ass up onto the top, crawl your way across the edge, and drop down into the next section of the game. This way, you can avoid being slammed through a glass window by Chris Walker. And if you don't know who that is, you should be doing your homework, not watching this video. But yeah, see the glass pane up there? It's alright. It's not smashed. Normally, by the time you get to this point, you should have been chucked out that big window by Chris. This glitch, for all intents and purposes, lets you bypass that entire thing like it never existed. Alright, now let's check out these trash bins first. Never know where the goodies are hiding. You got any idea how much good stuff ends up in dumpsters these days? I once scored half a chocolate bar. Alright, well this place has been picked clean already. I bet it's that fucking guy in the restroom. That's why he locked himself in. He's hoarding all the good stuff. And what good is a microwave if there is nothing to cook? Not even a crappy frozen pizza. Wash your hands. If I wanted nagging, I would have gotten married years ago. To this day, this part remains the biggest mystery of the game. Nobody really knows what that is. Some claim they see an Italian spicy sausage, others believe it's a human penis. Me? I don't really even want to go there. More dev references. Yeah, these guys are real narcissists, I'll tell you that. And by the way, that's a piece of gut on the tray right there. Someone is really living it up tonight. Well, at least they're decent enough to give me some pop. Sparkling water, you know? Sparkling water! Alright, let's see if I can haul myself up into this vent. And would you look at that? A makeshift ramp. Just, how convenient, right? Well, would you look at that? Look who finally crawled out of their little bathroom bunker. It's the trash can thief himself. I've got questions. I want an interview. I bet he's got all kinds of wisdom to share, like how to roast human guts in a microwave. A real Renaissance man, this one. Look, that bitch locked us out of the previous area. Man, never trust a man who dumpster dives for a living. I'm calling it now. This place seriously needs to call pest control. Get all these spiders, freaks, and bathroom bandits cleaned out. Oh, there he is! Dashing across the hallway like he's got 2 seconds to make it to the toilet. Serves you right, buddy. Shouldn't have hoarded all the trash chocolate. Son of a woman! I'm completely locked out. I can't even go back the way I came. Man, I should have stayed at home tonight. Beer, chips, video games, but no, of course, I had to be a journalist. Can't sit on my ass for 2 seconds without getting a horrible itch to investigate something. And look where it got me. Stuck in a haunted asylum full of wackos and human fondue. That guy looks way too wrapped up in his own little party, like blood vomit, ripped out guts. Now, look over there. See that passage? Stacked up with, furniture like someone lost a game of Tetris and just gave up. Now, keep that passage in mind. Trust me, it's gonna matter in a minute. Alright, let's head into the library. I feel like reading. Meet Frankie. Before someone ripped his head clean off, he used to be a real bookworm. Now he can't read anymore. Okay, now I am legit terrified. Time to make like a bread truck and whole buns fast. Because let's be real, this job doesn't pay nearly enough to get a new one ripped. Like, playing cat and mouse with a dumpster thief? Fine, I can do that all day long. But headless dudes casually chilling in the library? That's where I draw the line. Oh god, shit, there goes my goldfish memory again. I totally forgot I'd been cut off from going back through here. What now? Go ask Frankie to kindly point me toward the exit? I mean, I'd love to, but the guy lost his head a while ago, literally. Not much help in the conversation department these days. I'll tell you what, good sirs, I fancy myself a wizard, so let me flex some special kind of magic real quick, called door clipping. The trick is to mosey onto the door and slam it without accidentally opening it. Works like a charm most of the time, and if done correctly, you now should be all ready and able to walk right through it, but like a regular ghost. And the best part? This jump scare never has to happen at all. Isn't that just beautiful? And yeah, you kind of guessed it. Pulling the door open, doesn't matter which side you're on, will still trigger the jump scare. Yeah, go figure. We've already kind of seen the guy, so... Now, don't you go passing by thinking that's it. There's more to this here door than meets the eye. Hop in on top of it using the same trick we did last time will reveal a breathtaking view indeed. From here, we can pan around and describe what looks like a man hanging upside down at the top of the elevator shaft off in the distance. Now, we'll get to meet him in person later on. There are mountains too, nice snow-capped peaks. Kind of reminds me of that girl I once knew named Molly Mounds. Now, we can get around by shimmying across bookcases, tops of bookcases and edges of the walls. Watch your step though. One slip up and you're sandwiched between, 2 pieces of furniture, or worse, falling through some ghost textures to your death down below. Now, from here, we can actually work our way outside. Talk about being stuck with no way out. Good gracious, this looks even worse than I expected. Not only have these freaks been stacking up furniture like they are building a barricade, now they've started hanging each other from the ceiling like it's some kind of sick amusement park. Yet, No wonder that dumpster thief has been acting up like a scared little kid. If I had seen something like this, I would probably want to lock myself away too, with a mountain of chocolate to take the edge off my anxiety. And this dude's wrists, they don't even look halfway real, all twisted around. You see a guy with, wrists like that, he's over 30 and been single his whole life if you catch my drift. Because I know I do. I'm speaking from personal experience here. Oh god, we got some heads. What is that bloke doing over there, all impaled like he's auditioning to be Count Dracula's biggest fan? Hello? Are you by any chance still healthy enough for a quick little confab with the press? Murkoff Tactical Response Team. These guys thought wearing uniforms would make them the shit. This place proved just how sadly mistaken they were.
They killed us. They got out. The variants. You can't fight them. You have to hide. You can unlock the main doors from security control. You have to get the fuck out of this terrible place.
And just like that, Philman, his pitiful attempts to wriggle free earned us a fresh entry in our dear little diary. So let's take a look, shall we? Well, fuck, my day is ruined and my disappointment is immeasurable. This note just confirms how completely screwed we are, trapped in a place turned upside down by a full-blown madman mutiny. Now, since backtracking is off the table, our only option is to reach security control and unlock the front door. So let's see if we can do just that. Someone's been ripping off a lot of heads tonight. Say what you will, it's a hell of a hobby. Hey, you there? Come on, hit the brakes, buddy, I just need to talk. Okay, did you see that big guy? Well, me too. Wish I hadn't. And the closed caption? Full OPSEC, full black. What is that? Some kind of elite military speak for we're totally screwed? Don't worry, we'll get properly introduced soon enough. For now, just know that was a scripted event. No way to catch up to him, no point trying to get his attention, Alright, let's focus on something positive for a moment. Yeah, buddy? Like those dead men down there. So much for staying positive. And these are CIA shrinks from the look of it, I'm guessing. And check this out, this dude lived from 1959 to 1961, so apparently he only lived for 2 years, grew up fast, died even faster. His pal right next over did just a tad better, but, still... Now, let's head down here. I'm gonna show you something. This is a bathroom. This is your standard public bathroom, shit and blood everywhere, real classy. Now let's put those eyes to work and check out this hand dryer. Morin. If I was a dev, the last thing I would slap my name on would be a piece of toilet equipment. A human arm sticking out of a toilet bowl. Not sure if that's supposed to be like a hint about washing your hands or what. Never mind, let's move on. I'm itching to get out of this whole disgusting mess. Hey, do you ever stop to think what's up with room A203? Like, the way it's stacked up with furniture, you would swear they were hiding some top shelf goodies down yonder. Let's see if we can investigate that dirty little secret, shall we? And to do that, we're gonna use the same door glitch we did before. So circle back to where we came out of the library and mess around with the damn door until you're right where you need to be, on top of it. Jump across and land on the bookcase right next to it. From there, we have to warp through the wall while spamming the jump button. If you nail it, you might just end up tossed inside A203. It's a bit tricky but doable even on the shittiest of days. And now that we're on the inside, there's not a whole lot to look at. Man, all that trouble and not even a crappy selfie with a desk or a bookcase or anything. Oh well, at least now we know better. Now, we can't go through here, of course. Looks like someone's been playing Tetris with, furniture again. Damn kids and their pranks. And like I said, the clocks in the game work. So it says it's been 15 minutes since we got in. And I'm not sure how true that is, but, you know, it's a cool little, you know, attention to detail. And now take a look at this. This feels like a throwback to what this place used to look like, you know, before Markov reopened it. Because, you know, between the CIA and Markov, this asylum had been abandoned for quite some time. Now, let's look around. There's gotta be another way. Well, if there is another way, it's definitely not gonna be on the floor, buddy, so you better get up. Come on, Miles, get up. But, of course, it's right through here. Let's see if we're slim enough to squeeze through all those abdominal crunches.
Little pig.
Meet Chris Walker, the ugliest, meanest, and by far the baddest motherfucker up in this bitch. This guy's a real mess.